Hi, welcome back to the profile. As usual, my name is Christine Nyosenga. You can go to YouTube, type in Nyosenga Christine, and you'll be able to catch up with the profile conversations. As we promise to bring you stories that not only inspire but that have lessons to pick from and also educate ourselves as young people, as even older people, because there is a lot to learn from others, to learn from the mistakes they have made, to take the steps that they've taken and have succeeded. Today with me is Mr. Omuya Ronald. He's an educationist who is into many things, but that are in the field of education. You're most welcome to Profile.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy as your viewers have noticed. My name is Ronald Uya. Maybe you left one McDonald. Um, I've been in the field of education for some time now, and I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. I was born in Jinja, and I studied in Jinja. And of course, in Jinja, I was there for my primary, my secondary, and then I had to move in Kampala where I did my university education. And yeah, basically, I'm a family man and married with 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls, and one lovely wife. So basically, that is me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how do you start into this field? Where are you a primary teacher? Are you what kind of people do you teach?
Oh, yeah. I was trained as a secondary school teacher. My bachelor's is in education, but I've kind of moved some journey, and now at the university where I do teach undergraduate and master's students. So basically that is it, and I'm currently a PhD student or candidate, I would say. And so I'm about to graduate, and I hope to graduate, yeah, with a PhD in psychology. So I'm an educationist and then a psychologist. That is what I do. I do work with Kampala International University, and I also work with Be Selfless. It's an organization that helps young people who want to study online. And then I also work with Bronstone Canadian Academy, which is also an education center. It helps young people, those who want to study the Ontario Secondary School Diploma, so that they can be able to go and study abroad, particularly in Europe, in Canada, in America, and then other countries. So basically it is international education.
Okay. So, at the university, what subject do you teach?
Oh, uh, yeah, as a trained psychologist, I do focus so much on psychological papers. I do teach social psychology. I also teach research methods. I've taught organizational psychology, and I've taught uh, uh, issues in social work practice. So basically, those are the subjects that I concentrate on. I've taught many, but currently I'm into health education and health promotion, and research methods and social psychology. So I'm concentrating on those ones.
Okay. So, when I was younger, I wanted to study psychology mainly because I wanted to read people's mind. Is it really associated with reading people's mind?
Yeah, a lot of people say that. Yeah, but if I'm to give you the definition of psychology, yes, psychology is the scientific study of the mind. But it's not only the mind that we focus on, we also focus on behavior and emotions. So when people say, yeah, when I study psychology, I'm going to be reading people's minds, basically you're reading people's minds, but you go beyond that and also focus on the emotions, focus so much on the thoughts, and then focus on their behavior. So basically there are three things that you can be able to learn when you are really concentrating on psychology. And those three things are the ones that I've just told you. So it's not only that you're reading people's mind, but you go on and learn more about their behaviors as well.
Okay, so that means you can be able to predict behavior from psychology.
Wonderful. you've said it. Actually, that is one of the goals of psychology. That when you study psychology, we have 4 goals. You can be able to understand the behaviors or the emotions or the feelings of other people. And when you can be able to understand, then you go on and be able to explain. So that is the second one. And the third is prediction. So you can be able to predict and foretell what will happen later. But we also add the fourth one, which is control. So you have 4 things. You have understanding, explanation, prediction, and then control. And when you study that, you are going to focus on that.
Okay, so control, how does the control come in?
Control comes in like when you have, let me say you have behavior that you don't like maybe a mother may not like the behavior of a child, and so put some measures, to limit that kind of behavior. When you limit, that is what we mean by control. Sometimes you may want to increase the occurrence of that behavior if it is a good behavior. So what do? You give maybe a child some sweets, or you promise her a dress or a nice shoe. You are doing the same thing. You are controlling.
So this I'm asking on behalf of many girls.
Yeah.
Can you be able to control your boyfriend through psychology?
Yeah, I think you can. But you need to know your boyfriend's behaviors very well before you can control them. If you don't know the behaviors, then there's no way you can be able to control. How do you do that? If you know, because what I know with young people, they are worried of maybe this boyfriend is going to leave me or is seeing other girls, So what do? They put in some measures to see that they limit their kind of behavior or visiting a boyfriend in that case. So they will say, okay, they may give you a call and say, oh, let me say, Jimmy, where are you? And then Jimmy says, oh, I'm at home. And then the girl says, are you really at home? Yeah, whom are you with? I say, I'm at home with my mom. Okay, can I say hi to your mom? And then this boy really is lying. He's not at home. And then the moment this young man tries to, to shift the conversation, then you can be able to know that, oh, this boyfriend of mine is real lying. And so next time you can put some measures and say, okay, if you're going to see your mom, I want to go with you. That is kind of control. So next time you'll be able to limit the occurrence of that kind of behavior.
Many students in school actually have some attitudes towards subjects that are difficult, in specifically research methods. So how do you handle that, and how do you ensure that students actually pass these subjects?
Well, you've said it well about attitudes. Attitude is a psychological concept that we study a lot, and with attitudes change. So students may come with negative attitudes towards a subject, and others come with positive attitudes. Always maintaining a positive attitude when you're in school is what matters. And I would say that students who have a positive attitude will always excel and do wonders. It also comes with hard work and consistency. There is no way you can say, oh, this subject is too hard, so let me just neglect, let me not do that. You have to focus, you have to be consistent, and you have to perform, or to be a hard worker in order for you to excel. And with research methods, people have to excel. The subject is more of, it's practical. And students don't want to do anything with practice, They want theory.
Right.
So what I do is I try to engage them to be practical. So I give them experiences that will help them to practice what they are learning. And with that, they love the subject. There is no way you're going to avoid research. Every subject is about research. Even what you're doing here is more of research. So there's no way you can avoid it. Yeah.
Some students actually develop some attitudes because of maybe the punishments or because of how they are handled by their lecturers or teachers.
Mm.
Do you really think punishment imposes students to perform?
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes. But what kind of punishment? So there is a punishment that you can give when you you want someone, maybe you are reinforcing that kind of learning to take place. And that punishment can be a good one, you know. You don't harass students, you don't embarrass them. Rather, you try to be friendly with them, and you also give light punishments, and you give them the reasons as to why you are punishing. But university students, I don't think that they should be punished in that case. Giving them experiences that are in line with their level will be the most important thing. And sometimes they think it is a punishment, but it is not. So I think punishment can be reserved for those who are real stubborn. And maybe they feel like they don't want to study, or they are arrogant, and maybe. But students who are eager to learn, they don't need punishment. They just need to love them and reinforce that kind of behavior, and of course encourage them that things will go well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now leaving that part of maybe students, and you talk about children. You know, there is a child at home.
Yeah.
I observed like we had trained him that the way we wanted him to behave. But when he went to school, he came back with the other behavior he didn't have. This is a nursery child who is going to school, and now he comes, he's beating other children, he's abusing.
Yeah.
What do you really think is these people changing their attitudes when they go to school?
Environment. The environment really plays a lot in the child's growth and development. Now you're speaking about children, but everybody, whether you are young, or whether you are old, or be middle-aged or elderly, you can still be changed by your environment. So the environment that we grow up with, or we grow in, really determines how we shall behave and how we will feel and think. So I can imagine that that child, when he went to school, before he went to school, he had some kind of behaviors that we think they are good. Now, reaching school, he has found that maybe some of the colleagues are aggressive, and maybe they don't respect others, and that makes this child also to learn that aggressive behavior, and that is the reason why they can be able to change. So the environment really plays a lot in our growth and development, and certainly it has to affect the child.
How do you think we can handle that change of behavior? Because children have
The aggressive one?
yeah,
Or
like in school, to make sure that the children that go to school are not affected by the other behavior of the other bad children,
yeah.
of the other children.
I imagine children come from homes, so they have parents or they have guardians. Those who are in boarding schools, still they have their teachers, and they have maybe senior man teacher. I don't know if that is still there. And they also have they have rules and regulations. So having rules and regulations at home can help, because you as a parent, you train your child not to do that. So you have the do's and don'ts. When I was growing up, we used to have the do's and don'ts. My mother was really a strict parent that wanted us to grow in line, or to come back in line. And if you go astray, she will be able to bring you back in line. So those are the rules. You remember what I said about controlling behavior. When you have rules and regulations, you are controlling the behavior. So as a parent, you tell your child what kind of behavior, how to deal with people, and how to handle them. And that is what matters most. So the child will grow knowing, in our home, this is what we do. Now, when they happen to move away from home and they go maybe to school, they will carry with them that kind of behavior and attitudes, and they'll even come back and report and tell you, oh mommy, I at school there is this child is telling me this and that. Oh daddy, there is this kind of kid is behaving in this kind of manner and I don't want. And that is a teaching moment that you can have with your child and be able to teach them. Now, am I saying that kids will not change? Or sometimes they may not listen to you, they may completely take on the other behaviors. But continuous talking to this child will be able to bring this child back in line, and that's what you can do.
So that means that parents also have a part to play in raising the child.
Definitely, you can't replace the parent. By the way, right now, parents have neglected their duties and responsibilities, and they assume that this child is in a school, so the teachers will take up the job. But teachers also have their own children, and they also have their own work that they are doing. So do not assume that the teachers will be able to take care of your child. You still need to come back and be able to be in the life of this child. Talk to them regularly or consistently, and let them know that you are there and you care about their life. And they will trust you and they will tell you each and everything.
Maybe I feel like this nursery schooling should be done at home because that is where the most of the child's development comes in.
Yes.
So by the time they leave home, when they already have those values,
Mm-hmm.
and then they join primary, then go to school, I feel like that is when they will be ready.
Yeah, you can say that, but I would say that the first 5 years are very, very important in the child's growth and development. So let's say the first 3 years, the child is at home with the father, with the mother, and. But sometimes you have parents who are single parents, especially mothers, and they will not have the father, so problems will come, of course. But assume that we have this nuclear family where you have the children and you have the father and you have the mother. So the first 3 years, the child will grow with both parents, and that is the teaching moments that you can be able to take. Now, when the child goes to school and is 3, this child will never forget what you taught. Remember, it's going to be at school. They're just learning, they're just socializing, they're not learning anything. Still, you have to teach them. Now, when they are 6 years, that's when they go now in primary 1 or grade 1. Sometimes people say that. That is when now the child is now learning. And as a parent, you have to be there for this child. So yes, they can, if a father or if a parent feels that maybe they can homeschool their children, well and good. They can homeschool for a certain period of time. But in Uganda, we don't have that kind of program because most of the parents are not teachers and they don't have the learning experiences that they can offer. So it's better that they take them to school. So if they had school, what you should do is to monitor the child's growth and development. Don't be a helicopter parent. We have helicopter parenting, yeah? The helicopter, a chopper. It's like anyone is just, you are going to watch from a distance. No, we don't do that. You have to be involved completely.
Do you think a child who has attended nursery and the one who has not attended have a big difference? Because some parents think it is unnecessary.
Yeah, to those who feel like they are necessary. But remember, we have different experiences. What kind of nursery school are you focusing on? If a child goes maybe to a good kindergarten class or school, that child is going to gain good experiences. If he goes to a poor school with poor teachers, still they will not be able to focus on. I have my kid, my daughter, the second one. She was in kindergarten. She attended the same school with her older sister, but the older sister learned to write very well because she had a teacher who was so focused on handwriting, and the writing was good. This one, the second one, the same school, she struggled actually to write, but they were in the same school. So you may find that the people there in the school, the teachers or the parents in the school, if they don't help this young child, then the experiences of learning will not be good. But when they focus so much and they put in the effort, then the child will benefit. And so it doesn't matter where the person goes, but the experiences that they focus on.
That to explain so that means the difference is in between the training they actually get, not
Exactly. You may call, in psychology we call them experiences. You may say training, yeah, but for us we call them experiences or learning experiences. Every experience that you go into in life is a learning opportunity. Whether you're a young person, whether let me say, you're learning to drive, or you're learning to eat, or you're learning to socialize with people, still it's a learning experience.
What are the good things you've gained from this profession?
Yeah, well, I've learned how to talk to people or to socialize with people, and I socialize with different age groups, particularly the young people like you. I love the youths, and why? It's because it reminds me of my days as well, and because young people also have different experiences that I associate with. I want to really help them. So being an educationist has helped me that I continue learning all the time with people like you, because they come with different learning experiences, and so instead of me teaching them, they teach me. So I gain more knowledge actually from them. Another thing is that when you're an educationist, is like you are a resourceful person, and being a resourceful person is real important in this life. Information is key. If you are not learned, then you can't be able to survive. So I take it to be like I learn all the time. Every day is a learning opportunity for me, and that's why I love to be in education.
Okay, you've talked about the young people or the youth. How was it you as a youth in your life or in your time?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my youthful years, and of course I can't go back. But I was kind of a person that grew up in a strict home, not being strict that that parents will be on you all the time. Go out, come back at this time. No, they knew when to punish. My mother was really a good person. She was good at beating. I received a lot. I was a child who was very, very stubborn. I can imagine. By the way, when I was in primary, I used to walk with a stick just to cane young people who were real roaming around the street, and caning them when they've done nothing. I used just to move, and I felt pleasure just punishing them, and it wasn't a good thing, but I loved it, and I enjoyed doing it.
Why
I
were you
also
doing it?
no, I imagine that kids were stubborn, and they could just be playing around, roaming along the street, and I would just walk with my cane. I think maybe I was training to be an educator by then. Yeah, a teacher to beat. But anyway, it wasn't that good.
Was it attached to you? At that time, did you realize you wanted to be a teacher?
No, I realized that I wanted to be a teacher when I was in secondary school, actually. And in secondary school, I was so much into music, dance, and drama, so I was a performer. And actually, even in primary, all my years in primary, secondary, I performed. So I spent much time entertaining. And so I was a comedian. I could just, perform comedy without people paying, make people laugh. Particularly when we're like in groups in school. I remember in my primary, I think I was in primary 6. We had to get a leg of a pigeon. A pigeon, that like a dead pigeon. You can imagine.
Like the teacher had sent you or
No, no, we just did it because I was stubborn, you know. I wanted to tease one girl. So I didn't like that girl. And so I said, okay, I'll just do something terrible to her. And so I got that dead pigeon, put it in an envelope, and then wrote and sent it to her as a gift. And when she got it, she said, you want to bewitch me? It was a terrible experience. That day I was beaten seriously because she reported. She reported at school. And the moment they said, it was Omuya who did that. That was our teacher by then, and I was beaten thoroughly. But just to show you that I loved being with people, and so I enjoyed the youthful years, and I don't regret growing up. Yeah.
Okay, so some of the challenges you've encountered as an educationist.
One is, never go into education when you're looking for money. So the challenge that we've got is, of course, the meager resources that we have as educationists. This country of ours, I would say that they love teachers, but they feel like paying them is a challenge. And so meager resources is a challenge that I faced. And also dealing with students who are stubborn. I would say stubborn, not that they are difficult, but they're just stubborn. They are growing up. And so sometimes they challenge you, or they would make life difficult for you. But I know how to handle, so I can easily handle them. Another challenge that I found is, sometimes I'm an impatient person, and it requires me that I devote all the time to people that I take to be slow learners. I feel like it's a problem to me, because maybe I'm not so considerate about them, and I would want people to learn very, very fast. And if I teach something about maybe once, I feel like they should be able to grasp. And maybe that has made life difficult for other students that have come across me. But when I realize that, I try to change course. So I feel it's not a challenge. It's not their challenge, but it is my weakness that I need to work on. Not to assume that people will be able to learn very fast or grasp things very fast.
And on that, what advice can you give to your fellow teachers or lecturers?
Yeah, I think they should take every learner individually. They should not take them to be collective learners, that maybe they're the same. Every person is unique. They come with different abilities, skills, and attitudes, and they also have different challenges. So when you learn that this person is now unique, then you can be able to tailor those learning experiences that are unique to them. But the problem that we that we have as educationists or as lecturers is that we don't have the time to talk to these students individually. But when you focus and teach and talk to them individually, then you can be able to give them the learning experiences that they deserve, and they will never forget those moments. So instead of taking learners into a basket, take them at least, like maybe one orange in that basket. Yeah.
And since you're a parent, and you're a parent who has gone through all those stages of your children that are going.
Yes.
What advice would you give to the parents?
The parents. Parents should love their children. That is number one. Number two, they should instill discipline early. Tell the child what you want and what you don't want. And it's not all about the parent, but also involve the child. What does the child love? What does the child like? If you know that these children also have feelings, also they have attitudes, they have thoughts, they can think, they can reason, then you'll be able to raise them well. But if you are a parent who is neglectful, or you don't love your children, you don't care about them, then they'll grow up in a wild environment. So 2 things: love and care. Yeah.
Are you want to travel, or are you someone who has been to different places?
Yeah, I have, but not so many. But I've traveled because I love meeting people, new people. Yes, so I've traveled. I was in Nigeria for 2 years as a young person, serving as a missionary for my church. So the learning that I got from Nigeria, by the way, it is still with me. I still love the people, I still love the food, I still love everything about that country. I've been to Ghana, I've been to Italy, I've met some people that have come to love and like. And so traveling is good because you know, you learn more about other things that you didn't know. If you are so much involved into your own place, you'll be in your own cajon and you'll not learn, you'll not appreciate what other people have to offer. So yes, I would encourage your viewers, if they have the opportunity, let them travel, whether it's within the country or outside the country. It's a good moment, and that helps you to associate with others. Yeah.
What maybe you give us your final remarks for the day.
Yeah, well, I would say that people should embrace learning. If you have the opportunity, please go to school. If you don't have the if you didn't have the opportunity to learn, take this time and learn as well. Like you can be able to go into different kind of things, get a skill that you can be able to utilize that will make your life to be better. And don't just be closed to one skill. You can be able to learn different skills. So be a resourceful person. When you are not resourceful, people will not associate with you. If you learn, let me say, if you can sing, you can dance, and you can play an instrument, those are three things. Nobody can chase you from the band. But if you only sing, then that means that they may kick you out of the band, you know. So life is like that. Life comes with resources. So when you have the resources, use them. If you don't have them, look for them, you know, and you can be able to benefit. You're welcome.
And there is one thing that I would like to talk about. Yesterday I was talking to someone and they told me one thing. If you can't have someone do something to you, then you can do to others. It's a quote in the Bible actually that says that do unto others what you would want them do to you. So in that we need to be more understanding to each other and be patient with each other, because at the end of the day we all need each other. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
You're welcome, and thank you so much as well. Yeah.
And we have been working with Ashraf on the camera, and in case you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do and share the link, like the video. Until next time.